afternoon, Dr. Candace.
Good afternoon, Dr. T. How are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I am doing great. I'm up here trying to get my phone together and set up different things. I am
Girl,
doing awesome. I
girl,
am in
look,
great
I know it.
spirits.
I
I'm,
know it.
I'm in great spirits. I am grateful. I'm in alignment with my assignment. I am doing, yes, honey, I am in alignment with my assignment and therefore I deserve. I am
I know
doing
that's
great.
right.
Yes, I am doing good. I really am. I'm happy. I'm happy for
Mhm.
no reason. Ain't that the best time?
That's the best time. We should be happy for no reason. Why not?
Yes, I'm
Why
happy. I
not?
really
Why
am. I
not?
am doing good. Hi, Nikki. How are
Hey,
you?
Nikki, how are you?
Yes, I am doing great. So that's what's going on with me. And how are you? And how's the weather out there in Philly?
Girl, it's hot as hell. Let me tell you about how hot it is. Oh my gosh. It's so hot. Folks don't even want to go out. They don't want to do nothing. Everybody is just like, "Oh, I'm good with staying in."
It is hot.
It's like you run out and you come right back in the house because you're not trying to do way too much. It's like, "Oh, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that." I
It is.
promise you. And so we've been so it's like everybody is limiting their events, and it's so funny because a friend of mine has sent me this link for these free tickets to an event later on this evening, and folks is like saying to me like, "Oh, they like you going?" And I was just like, I'm thinking about it. I said, but I don't know because it is hot. Okay. I
Is
said,
it
this
an
is
outside
burning up.
event?
Girl, yes.
Oh, no wonder you questioning it. Hey, sister, how
and
are
it's
you?
and it's so funny because it's at 8 o'clock the night, right? And the
Oh,
thing, hey Tresta, and what's happening is with it being so hot outside, right? It's just like, ooh, I don't know because if we go out there at the end of the day, it's just like the heat gets hotter at night than it is during the day.
get out.
That's girl. It's a whole
I didn't
problem.
know that.
It's a
See, here,
whole problem.
oh, see, I didn't know that, T. Dr. T, I didn't know that because here in Cali, it gets
Mhm.
cooler at night.
Child,
Wow.
this is a whole new. When I tell you this is a whole new mark for us, this is yeah. D D said it's terrible.
Thank you. D said it's hot.
It is a whole vibe, and it's just like yo, it's like yo, I can't. It's just you doing everything you can to stay cool,
All right.
and it's just like, and it seems like the more you try, it's like my thing is I've been turning the air conditioner ordered off and ordered off and ordered off and ordered off because I'm still old school. I don't have central air in my house, so I've been turning it ordered off and ordered off and ordered. But sheesh, I'm like, oh no, we can't. We got to do something about this.
Yeah, it is. It's hot. It's going to be where I am today. I think it's 105.
Okay. Oh, shoot. That's something.
I know. I don't want to deal with it, but that's what we're doing. So I have my air
Hmm.
on. Well, I don't have my air on now, because it's
Hmm.
okay. But I'm sitting next to my fan, and I'll
Hmm.
be having on my air today. But I hate that
Hmm.
it's like that. And you live, and where you are, in the part of the world where you are, it's humidity, correct?
Yes. On top of the heat is humidity.
Okay.
On
Yeah.
top
See,
of
I don't
heat
have that
is
out here.
humidity.
Absolutely. I don't. We don't have that in California. We thank God, girl.
Hmm.
I know. But
Yes.
other than that, how are you? You doing good?
I'm doing good. I'm doing
How
good.
was
I'm
your week?
doing
Because
good.
today's Friday, so how was your week?
It was okay. It was okay. It was
Oh,
okay. It's like
that's
our
all
topic.
I got to see. Just
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. It is a okay. I'm not gonna say it was like woohoo. No, it was okay.
Well,
It
Mama
was
had a
okay.
birthday.
How?
Happy
Yeah,
birthday,
yep. So we
Dr. Tiger's
celebrated her
mother.
birthday. Yes, we celebrated her birthday this week and had a good time with that. Child took her to where we go. We went to the casino.
Good.
We went to the casino. We went to oh my gosh. Oh, I took her to an Asian bistro.
Oh,
And so it was really good. I've been
nice.
there a few times and
Okay.
yes, it's been awesome. It's been awesome. It's been
That's
awesome.
good.
So thank you, D, for the super sticker. Thank you, Mom, for coming in and getting us a super sticker too.
Thank you.
So as
Absolutely.
y'all can know, as y'all see, what we don't have on Instagram, we actually got on YouTube, y'all. So we have our stickers, we have memberships, we have it all now. So feel free to support the show because we being Dr. Candace are doing the darn thing these days.
Yes, yes, we are. And it's growing. It's growing. And we thank
Mhm.
everyone so much. And I got to, I mean, give all my love and give her her flowers. Dr. Tyra does this by herself. I know
Girl,
nothing about tech. No, no, no. I'm just gonna go and tell it. I
Candace,
know
cut it
nothing
out.
about tech. So all the fancy stuff, we have hired help, and then we got Dr. Tyra, but Dr. Tyra do all the tech stuff. Because I'm like, what? What's going on? I would not, if you ask me for a sticker, I'm gonna go to the 99 cent store and buy some stickers. I don't know what you're talking about when you say stickers.
Well, YouTube has stickers, and so pretty much with the stickers, people are able to support the show. And we have animated stickers, we have super chat, and for a super chats are like $1.99, and pretty much their
Awesome.
chats, their feature will go higher than everybody else. Like we'll see their name because their name be in highlights. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Every time they go to say something, which is an awesome feature.
I
And
love
then
it.
yeah, so it's like it's fun. Like they have a lot of little fun things and cute things that we could do with that. And so it's a good way to get the crowd engaged and get folks to
Absolutely.
reply and everything. So it's cool.
I love that.
Yeah,
I
so
love
yeah.
it. I do. I love it. So, with that being said, so we are all doing good. Dr. Tyra is doing good. She's staying cool. I'm trying to stay cool. We hope the
Yep.
audience is staying cool. We have
Yes.
a great show for you today, ladies and gentlemen. We do. We're talking about procrastination today. But before we get
Mhm.
into our show, y'all already know we got to do the T with Dr. Tyra. So, T, are you ready?
I'm ready. So, oh my goodness. So today with the tea, right? So today's tea. Y'all know I love the Big Tigger morning show, right? Is in
Yes.
Atlanta, but you go listen to it on the air, through the streaming services and stuff. And so their woulda, coulda, shoulda is always an interesting question. Sometimes it's hilarious, sometimes it's but for the most part, I'm not gonna say sometimes, all the time, it's very thought provoking, right? So this one resonates to all of us, right? And the reason I say it resonates to all of us because believe it or not, it's talking about a platform that all of us met on.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So today's woulda, coulda, shoulda was my wife for 5 years calls me on a phone when I'm about to get on a flight and says, "Why do I see you liking females' sexy pictures on Instagram?" I responded, "Yes, I have liked some pictures, but they don't mean anything. I just like the post. I've been faithful to this woman since day one, and now she's been cursing me out and even wants a divorce. I planned a trip for us to go to Mexico next week. She said, take an Instagram hoe. What should I do?"
Bless her heart. Bless her heart. I know. Bless her heart. I can't. I can't. Oh my God. He said, and now she wants a divorce.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
And
Oh,
then the thing is he's trying to make it up to her. But the idea, sis ain't hearing it. She like,
exactly.
go get one of them hoes off Instagram that you've been liking their posts, Mr. Likey Likey.
Yeah, that's a little excessive. So Dr. Tyra, are you asking my take on it? You want to hear
I'm
my take?
I'm gonna hear your take and then I'll give my take because believe it or not, I had clients with the same issue.
Really?
Ooh,
Oh,
girl.
my take on it is I think she's being a little obsessive. It sounds
Hmm.
like a lot of insecurity.
Hmm.
Uh, so one, it's a lot of insecurity there. Two, it's a big communication problem between husband and wife
Hmm.
because somewhere down in the marriage, he thought that was okay. See the
Hmm.
communication. He
Hmm.
thought it was okay. If I like this, it's cool. My wife
Hmm.
follow me. She'll see me liking homegirl or whatever pictures.
Hmm.
He thought it was okay. So that's a communication issue.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
don't think it's warranted divorce. I think they should maybe
Hmm.
sit down, have a conversation, and
Hmm.
don't divorce them over that because that's kind of petty. It really
Mhm.
is.
Mhm.
It's a picture. It really
Mhm.
is. And just have a conversation and set up some boundaries. Be like, babe, because the man ain't blind. He either gonna like the
Right.
picture or when the women walk past, he looking. He ain't blind. You can't tell
Right.
these men not to look. My husband, look, you can't do that. So you some insecurity there, and maybe it's been some trust issues, and that's probably
Mhm.
why she's made to feel that way because he probably
Mhm.
did something in the past and planted a
Mhm.
certain seed, and they fixed that, but that seed is still there. It could be that, so it could be many
Mhm.
things. But I think with the divorce and trying to leave him, come on now, let's try to straighten this out before we go there. What you think?
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
how do you feel
Well,
about
okay, so what I'm gonna say is this: I've had a number of clients who've had the same situation occur in regards to the whole Instagram and liking posts and things like that, right? And sometimes, the situation is number one. I would say that first of all, who's he coming home to at night, right? He coming home to you, right? So it's obvious these people don't mean anything to them, right? Number two, you know, people do have an appreciation for other people's appearance, right? If you have enough trust and faith in your marriage, trust and faith in your relationship, if this is a situation where folks is dating, then you should be okay with understanding that it's not going to go any further than a like. Now, fast forward to 2022, right? Because we seeing how people are moving in regards to number one, people had, you might as well say 2020 and 2021 were the ultimate come ups. People got money that they never dreamed they would ever have, right? So they was able to start businesses, go on vacations, do a lot of things. So people started moving differently, and they have been acting on the things that they have been seeing on Instagram in regards to moving on in on other people's relationships. We seen it happen, but it's up to the individuals to be able to shut it down and to say, number one, stay out of people's DMs. You know what I mean? And if it's a like, let them know. If you're secure, if you're not secure, just let them know. Look, I don't like you engaging in any type of interactions with any other women on social media. So I'd appreciate it if you not do this, and then being able to sit down and be comfortable enough to have that conversation with that individual.
absolutely? And you're right, Dr. Tyra, because that could be a trigger for that woman because we don't know
It
what type
can
of
be.
relationship she was in before,
Right.
and she could have been
Mm-hmm.
cheated on, mistreated, anything. So
Mm-hmm.
you're right, a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
you see this often? Do you see this type of behavior often with some of your clients?
You know what? I'm thinking of one couple in particular, right? Because I've been seeing them the longest. I've had them now for about 4 or 5 years. No, my God, I'm about to say 4 or 5 years. No, I've had her now for about 6 years. 6 years. I started out with just the wife, then I had the two of them, but I still have her. So it was like, like he's all for therapy, but all of the issues is not lying with him per se. So it's just being able to get people out of their feelings, right? Over things that don't matter, if that makes sense, So with that being said, it's, the individual, like, the husband is totally real, and sees what it is. Take everything for what it is. You know what I mean? And so, when she told him, and she waited till she got the therapy to say, I have a problem with you liking people's posts. The first thing he said was, I ain't at their house. I ain't going over there.
Right
I ain't,
on.
he's like, but because I know this makes you uncomfortable, I will not do this. So he took the app off his phone in my office, because this was when this is all pre-COVID when this
Okay,
happened.
got it. Okay.
Okay. And so he removed the app off his phone while we was in the office. And so she was like, well, you didn't have to go that far, because I'm not, because I know your kids post stuff that he was like, no, but I know you're uncomfortable with it. So I will remove it. But after that, so then she was like, okay. And so then he put it back on, but he's just like, I just don't like nothing. I just look. and I just look at the pictures and I don't say nothing. I don't engage in any conversation.
Got
He
it.
said, I just look and stare and call it a day. So I said, okay. Do you
Got
have to
it.
do what works for your relationship, but you have to make sure that you're comfortable,
Hmm.
and try not to, try to um make yourself heard. Try to make yourself heard in your relationship and don't pacify the other individual.
Absolutely. So let me ask, and then we're going to get into our segment. But I have to ask
Mhm.
Dr. Tyra this, and I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
the audience may be curious about this
Hmm.
question statement.
Hmm.
When men or women are liking individuals' pictures and the partners are upset, do
Hmm.
you think they still just as upset if it's a celebrity? So if he was liking
Some.
Beyonce, knowing she gorgeous, Beyonce don't want you. You ain't upset if the man like her picture, but just a
Mhm.
random pretty chick, we upset.
Mhm.
Why is
You
that?
know what? Okay, so the reason that they don't get too upset with the celebrities is because they don't think they can get them, right? And so, but when a random, they know a random will find a way to make one to get to you. And so, that's why. However, but we've had other situations occur, right? Where
Yeah.
we've seen individuals who were non-celebrities, right? Get into a DM with a celebrity and now they're a couple.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And we've seen that with a number of celebrities that actually happened. I'm
Hmm.
trying to think of the one celebrity's name. I think it was oh my
Well,
god.
I know, for instance, Seinfeld, his wife was not a celebrity. Her name is Jessica, and she is
Yes.
known now because of him. But at one time, I think she was a chef, a nail tech, or something. I don't know. And
Hmm.
then it was Simon that used to be Simon Cowell that used to be on American's Idol. He has
Hmm.
a baby, or did he marry? She was a makeup artist. So it's a lot of people, celebrities, that do
Hmm.
marry non-celebrities.
Yes, yes. Oh yeah,
Okay.
of course. I mean, because that's, I mean, a lot of them do. A lot of them do. But they didn't meet these people on Instagram either.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? That's the piece. I mean, because a lot of celebrities don't marry, famous people. But the problem is the those that meet others on social media.
Hmm.
That's the issue. And see, and when you meet someone on social media, right? Those feelings that you have sometimes creep back in, right? I know how I got you. I know
Hmm.
how I got you. And so, because I know I got you on this platform, right? I know I got you on social media. What makes me think that you're not going to go back to social media to do to peruse for other individuals?
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? Like like you did you, but what, how I know you're not going to peruse for other individuals the same way you found me on there.
Hmm.
You creeped up on the DM. So, you know what I mean? And that's the question that people, get.
Yes. And
You
that's
know
a
what I mean?
legitimate question.
It is
Absolutely.
it's a very legitimate question because of that, because it gets, and people getting their feelings and, because of posts, and any man or woman that don't say that they don't get like feel some type of way when something like that occurs, they lying. They lying. I'm not believing them because I know that at some point you do get in your feelings about it.
You do.
When you see something, you know what I mean? Like,
You
wait a
do.
minute.
You do.
All because of how you met that individual.
That's true. That's
You
true. And you
know?
know the old saying, because you and I are very old school. How you get a
Mhm.
man, and sometimes how you lose him.
Hello. But I'm gonna say with that statement, right? That statement always applied to, at least in my world, it applied to people who was cheating.
Right?
You
Exactly.
know what I mean? Because if you got
Yeah.
that person, if you was creeping and sneaking and cheating with that person, how you think you gonna lose that person?
Exactly. And
You
if you meet
know,
them online and say y'all done, they gonna meet somebody else online because that's their pattern.
that's the there it go. There it go. Now
That's
you do have
that's their
some
pattern.
people, but you know what? But then you do have some people who've never did that before. And
Yeah.
those who never did that before and was just like, ooh, I was a risk taker. You know what
I
I mean?
know.
You know good hell well they ain't gonna do that again.
I love
They
it.
ain't doing that again. Like, oh, I did that once. It's like, you go through life,
Yeah.
everything is a once. Oh, I tried it. and
Yep.
I ain't doing it again. Now,
Exactly.
D had a statement. D said, my granddaughter and her boyfriend took off all social media. He's so jealous of my granddaughter.
Oh,
But yeah, I mean, but the thing is, and it's so funny, when D talks about that whole piece right there, that whole statement, that statement speaks volumes, right?
it
And the
is.
reason it speaks so many volumes because we ain't always had social media.
Exactly.
So what would your response have been if it's all in person?
Exactly. And jealousy, that's dangerous to me. That's
Very dangerous.
dangerous.
Oh my gosh,
We
yeah.
got to do a show on that. What y'all think, ladies and gentlemen? We need to do a show on jealousy because that's dangerous to me.
It
You
is.
know,
I
and it
think so.
alters the other party's behavior. If you know your partner is jealous, it alters your behavior and you start to walk on eggshells because you don't
Hmm.
want to interrupt the flow. You don't want to
Right.
create drama, even being yourself. You kind of feel
Yep.
like being me may create drama. So, because I know they
Hmm.
jealous. You ever heard that?
Right.
I
Yep.
know they're jealous, so I ain't gonna do such and such and such and such. You
Yep.
know. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
You agree, D? Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so that one was a good one. I like that. What else you got for the tea?
Okay. So the other tea I got, I saw online. I said, "Oh, this is interesting." I was seeing on TV actually. They were talking about Beyonce releasing her track list today. And
Love it.
with our topic being procrastination, right? I'm looking how she's moving, right? And she's
Hmm.
moving quietly, and folks, everybody's waiting for the anticipation of her, what's she gonna bring? What's she gonna bring? I can't wait till she start till her album hits it. I can't wait, I can't wait, I can't wait. But it's like, okay, so what she's gonna do next, and everybody is trying to figure it all out, right? And I just love it that she's eased these tracks out, and now one thing we know about her, she ain't procrastinating.
No,
She
no,
ain't procrastinating. She ain't procrastinating.
she's going from one to another, and I love that. She's like, I'm gonna give you a snippet, and then no, she said, I'm gonna give you a snack. I'm gonna give you lunch, and the album when it come out is dinner. Come on now, I love it. That's what I say. I say, I'm gonna give you lunch. Come on and get dinner over here. There you go. I love it.
I
And
love it.
she's right. She's not procrastinating. And that's what a
Mm-mm.
lot of us do, but we got to
Mhm.
get out of it. So that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yes, we are. Oh my gosh, because look, we know how it is, and we know a lot of people are do procrastinate about things, but at the end of the day, we gotta do what we can to get ourselves together so that we don't put ourselves in that mindset and stay
Absolutely.
in that mindset, right?
That's
So,
right.
yes.
That's
All
right.
right.
So I love it. So are you ready?
All
Yes.
right, Dr. Candace.
Yes, yoga, yoga, yoga. I do it every day. I'm doing it later
Mhm.
on today because I have something going on, and it is very good for you. Yeah. I'm sorry, that's my dog in the background.
Ah, look, her dog having his moment. Look, y'all know how that go. Look, everybody, anybody in the comments that have pets, we know how that goes with pets because we know pets be doing their own thing, right? So yes, but today's topic today is procrastination, y'all. Put in the comments how many of y'all experience issues with procrastination.
I
Look,
used to.
I'm procrastinating right now. Okay, I'm procrastinating right now on some things, and I know all of my fellow doctors and stuff will probably say, Tyra, now come on. But but when you get in that, when you get stuck, you get stuck, and you just do what you got to do to try to change things. Trista said, me. I know that's right. And so today on Mental Health Minute with Doctors Candace and Tyra, we're going to talk about procrastination. So,
Yes,
are you ready, Dr. Candace?
I sure am. I love this topic because I have some. I have some a little spurts of procrastination. However,
Mhm.
I have tried to eliminate that, but we're human. We all fall short sometimes.
Mhm.
However, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Procrastination. So
Mhm.
I want to ask Dr. Tyra, she's the expert here, and the audience too, of what you think. My first question: what is procrastination? Because a lot of people don't know. What is it? What's your version, especially with your clients and the people you work with?
Mm.
What is procrastination to you, Dr. Tyra?
Girl. So, procrastination to me is the act of delaying and postponing something. That's what Webster says, right? Dr. Tyra says procrastination is being stuck, having that stuck moment where you just feels like you just can't move forward, being in a position where you just like, oh my gosh, I need to get this done, and putting it to the back burner. Now a lot of people will say procrastination is being lazy. Procrastination has nothing to do with being lazy, right? Procrastination has issues with, it can be psychological based off of some of the things that we have going on. It could be, we become so overwhelmed to the point we just don't know what to do. Like, and we like, okay, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. I'll get to it. And then we had that little to-do list, have all the stuff listed, and can't get through the list because we done got all this stuff on there and trying to get make sense of make everything make sense. You know, they all think, y'all know that's my tag right there. Make it make sense, and trying to make it make sense. And as Dr. Candace like to says, and make it match, right? So we the make it crew right here. You know, and so when you think about procrastination, there is three types of procrastination, right? You got the avoider, right? And so the avoider person is a person that puts stuff off just because they just don't have time. They put it off. And and sometimes it's because they want to avoid situations. Sometimes they trying to avoid people. Mm,
Right on. Absolutely. Trying to avoid people and situations. You're so right.
okay. Then you got the optimist,
Yes.
and then you have the pleasure seeker.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm writing these
And
down. I'm taking notes. Pleasure.
uh-huh, it's the pleasure seeker. So when you think about, you know, and I got some of this, I got this information, some of this information from Psychology Today, right? And so when you think about procrastination, is definitely so many different levels of it, right? But it's just being able to know the signs of it and being able to identify what is triggering your procrastination.
Exactly. You're
Mhm.
right. You're right. What
Yeah.
triggers that?
What does
What triggers?
procrastination? What does procrastination mean to you, Dr. Candace?
Everything you said. I love it. Everything Dr. Tyra said, ladies and gentlemen, I totally agree with that. Procrastination to me is everything. I'm going to piggyback that my colleague said. She's absolutely right. And she is right that it is not laziness. And Dr. Tyra went into my next question without me even answering it. My next question was: is procrastination laziness? Is it being lazy? And no, it's not. It is a sign of mental and emotional. Would you agree with that? Mental and emotional, because sometimes we just don't want to do stuff because we in
Mhm,
our feelings. Y'all
mhm.
know, y'all, the ones that know me. I say in a
I
minute, get
agree.
out your feelings and let's do it.
I
Let's
agree.
do it. You know,
I
grown
agree.
folks are more in their feelings than kids. We
Mhm,
always in our
mhm,
feelings. I don't feel like it. What the hell you mean you don't feel like it? We grown. Let's do this.
mhm, mhm,
You know, so it can be in your feelings and then also
mhm,
it can be mental. And I
mhm.
want to talk a little bit about why people procrastinate. And
Yes.
like Dr. T said, you got being somebody, you got the avoiders, you got the
Mhm,
optimists, you got the people pleasers, and then you got some people procrastinate, everyone, because of skill, lack of skill. They
mhm,
procrastinate at a job. Say you're at your job or something you want to do. Or let's just say job. Lack of
mhm,
skill, scared to
mhm,
ask for help, don't know what to say. So lack of knowledge. Or you got a goal that you want to set, but you
mhm,
don't know the steps to take that goal. You don't
mhm,
know what to do. So it can be lack of skill. Like I
mhm,
don't know what to do. And so procrastination will come in because now you're stuck. Remember,
mhm,
Dr. Tyler used that word, stuck, and she's absolutely right. Another one is those external obstacles, and that's with the emotion of
mhm,
not just I don't feel like it, but that's
mhm,
an emotional, but then the mental thing as well. The mental
mhm,
component is fear, limiting beliefs about yourself. I feel I
mhm,
can't do it. And when you have limiting beliefs and you feel
mhm,
you can't, you don't. I'll say that again for the people in the back. When you have limiting beliefs and you feel you can't, you don't.
Right.
Another one is self sabotage. You have to self sabotage it for so many years, it
Mm-hmm.
becomes a habit. That habit becomes
Mm-hmm.
a way of life, and now you do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's mental. Then it
Mm-hmm.
becomes addictive to escapism. I know that's a
Mm-hmm.
word. It is escapism. Escapism. I'm just going to escape this. Meaning, I'm going to sweep it under the rug and I'm going to come back later. You're addicted to sweeping that under the rug. I'm addicted to coming back to it later. And then when you come back to it later, the deadline gone and you can't. Don't tell me, raise your hand. Am I the only one ever experienced that? Had something to do, didn't do it, deadline gone, now I can't do it and I missed out. Am I the only one in life ever missed out on a deadline? Because I tried to escape it. I'm like, I'm gonna do it later because that fear and that not laziness, but I'm gonna do it later because some of us believe that we work better under pressure. Y'all know I used to believe that. I used to think I work better under pressure. When my back against the wall, I come out fighting and I can really do it then. That's a hard way to live. Who the hell want to work under pressure? I ain't no boxer. That's like being in the boxing ring with yourself. Does that make sense? Yeah, exactly. And another one is you have unrecognized truth. You don't recognize your strength. I'm big on working with your strength. You just focus on your weakness and that just keep you stuck. Remember Dr. Tyra said stop. So those are some of the reasons why people procrastinate. What do you think, Dr. Tyra, of why some people procrastinate?
I think some reasons that people procrastinate are because they become easily distracted.
Mm-hmm.
I believe is also because it feels like it begins to affect relationships with loved ones.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that we've come accustomed to being putting things off that we feel are unimportant. And when we become
Mm-hmm.
accustomed to putting things off because we feel that they're unimportant, we we basically put ourselves in that whole mindset that it's like, okay, well, it'll get done. Or we putting it off hoping that somebody else will do it, right?
Exactly.
And they don't do it, or we just pretty much just have a hard time meeting deadlines. And when you think about procrastination, it all falls under that big fat umbrella called time management.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And being able to schedule the time out to do the things. Now, sometimes we schedule the time and we just get so fed up with certain things that we do in our life that is just like, okay, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Like, I know for me that, when I get to a certain point in my life and I get sick and tired of being sick and tired, I will put stuff off to the last minute,
Mhm.
and sometimes it benefits and sometimes it doesn't. You know what I mean? And so it's just like now just being able to say, okay, I got this. I'm gonna do what I need to do, and I'm gonna do what I need to do so that I can succeed without procrastinating. You know?
Exactly. I like how you said that. I like that because I wrote that down. Putting things off. Dr. Tyra, will you agree, and the audience as well, we would love to hear from you, that when you have been putting things off for so long, it becomes a habit, then it becomes a way of life, and that's just your thing now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just like I've been putting it off. That's what I do. And then when I go back to it, I'm able to go strong and I can handle it. That's a hard way to live. Would you agree?
I would agree. I would
Yeah.
agree. That is a
I
hard
used to
way
be
to
like
live.
absolutely. I put
It's hard.
everything off, and I put everything off. And I work
Mm-hmm.
with people every day where I teach
Mm-hmm.
them how to manage their time. So,
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Tyler, what's your take on and your understanding of people not knowing how to manage their time? I think 92% of us, which I looked up last night here in
Mm-hmm.
America, 92%. That's a big number, ladies and gentlemen.
That
92%
is.
of people don't know how to manage their time. And
Mm-hmm.
time, let me
Mm-hmm.
tell y'all, let me tell you a secret, honey, is the only thing that's consistent in your life. It's gonna be 2 o'clock like
Hello.
whether you show up or not.
Hello.
So a lot
Hello.
of us don't know how to manage our time. Do you agree with
Mm-hmm.
that?
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree that people, I mean, I think the numbers is kind of high with
Yeah.
that. I think the numbers is
Oh,
kind of
stop.
high. So I'm not going to say I 100% agree with the number because I mean, granted, a lot of people do procrastinate, but I don't think is quite
They said
that
90. I
that
feel
high. I think it's a good amount of people who procrastinate, but at the same time, I think that it's a number of people who, who do get things done in a timely manner,
Absolutely.
you know.
Absolutely. I was shocked by that number when I read that. I'm like,
Mhm.
wow, that many.
Mhm.
And I always, when I do my statistics and my data, I don't go under
Mhm.
five. I keep it.
Right.
And I'm looking at what we went through with the pandemic. And so
Mhm.
that made it more believable to me because
Mhm.
during the
Mhm.
pandemic, we were all stuck and stagnant. So if
Mhm.
a person is
Mhm.
battling with procrastination, now you got to wear a
Mhm.
mask and be at home and only can go to the grocery store and get toilet paper. That made it worse.
Mhm. Mhm.
So now you like, oh,
Mhm.
I don't know what to do. So that's what made the number kind of believable to me is because of
Right.
the situation that the world was placed in. We were
Right.
kind of in procrastination. Well, we weren't placed in procrastination, but we were placed stuck. We was placed
Mhm.
with that uncertainty, with that
Yeah.
uncertainty. Absolutely. So, before we go into our tips, were there any comments? What did Trista say 3 years later, still trying to close stuff? Okay,
Yep.
exactly.
Mhm. Yep.
Procrastination.
And then
Yeah.
D said, right like the gym and Manny, I can't even count how many years it's been. Okay.
Okay.
I
Are
can
you
understand
saying
it. The
gynecologists and a mammogram?
Ghana and a mammogram.
Yes. Okay, I know exactly. So with that being said, with D's, is it
Mhm.
fear? If you're still here, D, can you let us know? Is it fear? Is it
Mhm.
uncertainty? Remember we talked about why
She said no
some
gynecologist.
exactly. Okay, because I'm familiar with that acronym. I see it all the time.
Mhm.
So, is it fear or the uncertainty? Like I don't want to go, or uncomfortable?
Mhm. That
Uncomfortable.
too.
Uncomfortable.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
is it safe to say, and I
Mhm.
think so, hopefully Dr. Tyra will agree with me, is it safe to
Mhm.
say here on the mental health minute, if you know, like Dr. Tyra stated earlier, know your triggers, know what is
Mhm.
bringing that on,
Mhm.
not to place yourself in the procrastination box. You can just say, like Dee, for
Mhm.
instance, said, it's gynecologist. Is
Mhm.
it, if that's a trigger for you, is
Mhm.
the triggering fear and the uncertainty?
Okay.
Then that
Right.
way it's not procrastination.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
I see
Don't
what you're
place
saying.
yourself in that box because
Right.
once we place ourselves in that box, we everything we doing now, we like, oh, I procrastinate. Oh, I
Right.
procrastinate. So
Right.
let's say,
Mhm.
okay, especially
Especially most of my family died from female cancer, especially my mom. Okay, so
fear.
so yeah,
It's
it's a fear that's keeping you from going. I can understand that, and
I
that
understand.
happens. You
I
know,
understand.
medical procrastination happens. Just like medical anxiety. And the reason I added medical on the front of those terms is because you may not have anxiety in other areas, but when it comes to the medical profession and anything related to your health, right? Health procrastination is real. Medical health, when it comes to the fear of going to the doctor, a lot of people experience that. And it's just being able to say, okay, I know I need to know if I'm getting better. Like, I have some relatives that refuse to go to the doctors. And I'm just like, and I sit back and I go to doctor for every little thing. Like, if anything is going wrong, I'm like, shit, I'm there. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? My left foot, my leg, what's going on? I need to know what's happening. You know what I mean? And then I look at them and I will say to my mom, I'm like, yo, how come we go to doctor for everything? They don't go for nothing. Is they healthy?
No,
I'm like,
right?
cause I feel look, and I'm like, and I know the fear is real.
It is.
I mean, it's real when people are afraid. Granted, it's a difference between being fearful and being afraid.
It is. It is.
Is a difference between the two, and we'll discuss that on another episode of Mental Health Minute. But at the end of the day, is just being able to say, okay, I need to when I need to know something, I need to know, especially when it comes to your medical health.
Absolutely. And I totally agree with Dr. Tyra with that because I used to be
Mhm.
that way as well, not
Mhm.
wanting to know.
Mhm.
And that was back in my younger days. So once I got in medical school and started doing things and start
Mhm.
looking into it and getting into it, I had white coat syndrome as well. That's what we call it. And
Right.
that's one part of it. And that procrastination, that medical
Mhm.
procrastination. However, I
Mm-hmm.
start to look at it like this: caution is better than cure.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
rather you knowing saves your life, not
Yes.
knowing will bring you to your demise. So I
Right.
want everyone to remember that, and you learned it, heard it, seen it, and thought about it
Mm-hmm.
on the Mental Health Minute.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing would save your life. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And caution is
Mm-hmm.
better than cure. You want to know where you stand so you can fix it. So I want y'all to keep that in mind. And I want you actually, when you have medical procrastination, if
Mm-hmm.
I procrastinate on this, why? Do I living or death? That's your choice.
Right. That is no other options.
So if I go, I live. I have a
Mm-hmm.
better chance on living, keep living good,
Mm-hmm.
that's quality of life. And if I
Mm-hmm.
don't go, then that's the uncertainty. So
But you
just
know
think
what?
about that.
But you know what? You always hear about people saying, "I was fine until I went."
Yes, I hear that, but then they still living. But if
You
you
know,
went and you didn't know what was going on,
right? And that cracks me up. You
yeah,
know what else? You know what else takes me out sometimes when it comes to women being pregnant, right? You know they pregnant and but they don't like they haven't been to the doctor to find out just yet.
I
And then
know.
when they go to the doctors and they find out, it's like next thing you know, their stomach just grows really big, and it's just like,
I
well,
know.
dang, you was just this big last week, and now all
Mhm.
of a sudden, now that you know, and the world knows, now it's like the appearance is now here, and that
Exactly.
always fascinated me. How
Exactly.
you went from a peanut to now you're like, it's like, wow,
And guess what?
the body is amazing.
It's amazing, and that is actually science. Hi, Michelle, and we are so happy. We're happy that
Yes.
we're glad that you're negative. Right on, and that is actually science
Mm-hmm.
because once when someone doesn't know or don't
Mm-hmm.
want other people to know, their body
Mm-hmm.
goes into stress. So
Yeah.
you're breathing different.
Ooh.
Once
Mm-hmm.
you let people know, or even once you know, whether it be any type of diagnoses, whether it
Mm-hmm.
be from blood pressure to pregnant to cancer, you're able to
Mm-hmm.
relax. Now the body is
Yes.
able to do what it needs to do. So the
Mm-hmm.
belly was able to say, I can come out now, I can breathe. So your breathing is different and the body can grow. Just
Mm-hmm.
like if you have a cancer
Yes.
diagnosis, you're
Yes.
able, the body can, because the body can heal itself with work
Mhm.
and with help, but
Yes.
it still
Mhm.
heal itself. When you know and you
Mhm.
want to fight and live it and fight and continue to live and have that
Mhm.
mindset go that way,
Mhm.
your body will go that way and it'll
Yes.
calm down and it will
Mhm.
feed off good endorphins. So
Mhm.
that is
Yes.
absolutely right. I love
Yes.
that. You're right, Dr. Tyra, when you said
But you
that.
know what? I found the statistic too that I found to be that I found to be interesting also. Somewhat a little bit, yeah. Everyone procrastinates, but not everyone is a procrastinator.
Right
We
on.
all put tasks off, but in research, it has found it that 20% of United States men and women are chronic procrastinators.
Got it.
You
Love.
know,
They're
and
right.
then when and so the definition that I seen on Psychology Today that they had along with the statement was a dance between the amygdala or the limbic system, the emotional brain, and the prefrontal cortex.
Hmm.
That's what's happening. Is a dance party.
Exactly. Exactly. The amygdala and then
The
your
amygdala.
prefrontal cortex.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do this? Can I do that? What we gonna do? Overthinking. Y'all do know that goes
Always.
with the brain. Y'all know I love the brain.
Mm-hmm.
You're overthinking. Just do it. Stop overthinking it. Because some of
Mm-hmm.
us are perfectionists. And she's
Yes.
right. Everybody procrastinate. Like I said, I tried to get out of that, but I was like in the beginning of the segment, look, I do it too.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we all do it. We put
Yes.
things off. I just got out
Yes.
of the habit of putting things off at the last minute because now I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, especially if it's a deadline type thing. I'm like,
Right.
I don't like the
Mm-hmm.
feeling.
Girl, none of
I
it.
don't,
I know. I'm not gonna say none of us do. I'm gonna say I'm with you on that. I don't
I
like
don't
that
like that.
feeling either because
I don't.
that brings on stress too.
Yes. And that
That
brings on
brings on stress
anxiety.
too.
And yeah,
Heck
and my
yeah.
anxiety can get high. My anxiety when I feel rushed and when I feel my
Mm-hmm.
anxiety gets
Mm-hmm.
high and I don't like that. I
Yes.
don't. Yes. So what tips would you give
Mm-hmm.
to help someone that's battling with procrastination?
Okay. So tips that I would give for folks that are battling with procrastination are da 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 da. Here we are. Okay, so I have wrote my tips out, y'all. So for folks that are cup that are experiencing a lot of procrastination, the number one thing I would say is number one, be able to forgive yourself for
Mm-hmm.
procrastinating in the past. Because sometimes when we procrastinate in the past, we sit back and we say to ourselves, we focus on the past, right? Because that's our number one go to. That's our number one go to with everything, focusing on the past. We got to get ourselves out of that, right? Dr. Candace has been talking all week long, the topic of discussion all week long. If anybody could put it in the chat, the topic that she's been talking about all week long, I will, you know what, I'm gonna give a gift for our show today. I'm gonna do a $5 gift card to Starbucks if anybody could talk about the topic that she's been talking about all week long, right? Because the topic that she's talking about, it goes along with number one, right? Now, number two, commit to the task. Being able to commit to the task that you know you had to get done, right? And so the next is three, promise yourself a reward. If I do this, I can do that. If I do this, I will, just give yourself some kind of a reward that will make you feel good, something that you don't normally do, right? Next, promise yourself, ask someone to check up on you. You know what I mean? When we do things, sometimes we don't say to people, oh, we don't have anybody to hold us accountable.
Absolutely.
Okay,
I
so and it's
love it.
like, oh no, I didn't get it done, and then the person calls you to check on you, and you avoid their calls.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good. We can't avoid people's calls, right? We can't avoid their calls, and we can't try to, pretend like it didn't happen or pretend like we're not supposed to get this stuff done, right?
That's right.
So you definitely have to do that. Rephrase your internal dialogue. Y'all know we having conversations in our head, just like we got friends in our head and everything else, right? So when you sit there talking about I'm gonna get to it, I'm gonna get to it, in the back of your mind
Yeah.
is saying I'm gonna get to it, you start thinking I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, and just keep rephrasing it in your head that you're gonna do it, and then start doing it, right? The
Mm-hmm.
next, minimize the amount of distractions that you have. Get rid of those distractions. You know what I mean? Everybody knows we have a lot going on, right? Everybody knows everybody has a lot of things that they need to do. But what we want you to do is minimize the amount of distractions that you have, right?
Absolutely.
I have a lot. I know for me, I only procrastinate on things that annoy me. If
Okay.
I know I have to get it done, like I have something that I've been procrastinating on for 3 months, and I procrastinated to the point where I'm down to the wire. I only have 5 days effective
Oh,
today,
Dr.
right?
T.
So I'm not feeling no type of way. And I'm just like, you know what I mean? My thing is just like I've had a lot going on. You know what I mean? And it's just like, and I met with my coach and talked to her about what I need to do. And she's just like, you need to start letting some of this stuff go. And, and at this point, this year for me was the year of intention, being able to make
Right
it
on.
make sense, right?
That's right.
And so right now, that's what I'm working on, being able to make it make sense. And
I love
so
it.
that's the process I'm doing, and so when you wake up in the morning, being able to say, okay, I'm going to do it today,
Mm-hmm.
and
And take
actually
your
do it and get it done. Actually do it and get it done.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, I mean,
I
so what about you,
love
Dr. Candace?
I love Dr. Tyra tips. I love it. Mine is set daily deadlines and goals for yourself. If you want to
Mhm,
stop procrastination, do what you need. Just you
mhm,
need to set up. Write it out.
mhm,
Y'all know I'm big on writing. When you write it, you invite it. Write it out.
You
That
heard that?
when you
Mm,
write it, you invite it. You invite it in here, you invite it in here once you write it. So you write it out and you don't have to do everything on the list, but you have to set a deadline for one thing.
mhm,
Excuse me, if that goal consists of 10 steps, then you need to do two and make a deadline. I'm gonna knock out them two
mhm,
steps today. So you need
mhm,
to write it
mhm,
out, set small,
mhm,
attainable goals and deadlines. The next one, create new habits. Procrastination is a habit. It's a habit. We talked about that in the beginning of the segment. It's a habit. It's like, oh, I'm used to doing that. Or I'm used to working this
Mhm.
way and I'm going to get to it. It's a habit. Create new habits. So if you are procrastinating, you have to say to yourself, no more. I'm going to create a new habit and I'm going to do number one every day. And what was number
Mhm.
one? Set a daily goals and deadlines. I'll at least do
Mhm.
that to create new habits.
Mhm.
Number three, be consistent. Consistency. Like Dr. Tyra said, be committed to the commitment. Stay consistent. It's not a one and done. You got to keep doing it because you are creating a disciplined mindset. And number four is check your priorities. The reason why most of us are still in that procrastination mindset is because we prioritize what we want to prioritize. We are grown folks here, so we're not going to talk to each other like we're children. We are all grown. We go out and do other things and hang out with friends and have brunches and teas, but you know you need to be doing this. That means your priorities are not in alignment. You are
Mhm.
not in alignment with the assignment.
Mhm.
Check your priorities, get in alignment, and reward yourself. Dr. Tyra even mentioned that. So before you try to reward yourself to go hang out, do something of one and two. One and two, set deadlines, set the goal, and create new habits and stay consistent now. That's that, and then you can reward yourself. However, you check your
Mhm.
priorities. So a lot
Right.
of y'all need to check your priority list and say,
Mhm.
"Oh, okay, that is a priority for me. I'm going to do that." So those are my tips. I think it's very important we do that. We do. What you think?
Mhm. I agree. I totally agree. I
Yeah,
agree with you.
we got to make time for ourselves.
Mhm.
We have to create a space for ourselves. I create a space for Candace every day.
Mhm.
Every day, Candace
Mhm.
got a space for
Right.
her because
Mhm.
I have a family and I have my practice and I have
Mhm.
other things going on. So
Mhm.
that is a place and a space for that. But I
Mhm.
created a space for me. So those are my
Mhm.
tips. Absolutely, yes. So then we have any
Yes.
questions in the comments. Any
Any
questions?
questions? Any questions? Nope, we didn't have any questions, and nobody wins the prize for this week to even talk about
So yeah,
what was your
yes. So let me tell you, no one knew, and I'm shocked, but that's
nobody knew,
okay.
and I'm shocked, but that's
Limited
okay.
beliefs.
That is quite all right.
Yes,
What
I
was
talked about limiting beliefs all week. I'm on limiting beliefs. I'm on the
yes.
mindset discipline. So with that being said, y'all can go and check out because maybe we got some limiting beliefs in here. Right on.
Okay.
If
Okay.
you are battling with limiting beliefs, which I'm pretty sure some of us are, go over
Mhm.
to my Instagram in my bio, click the link in my bio. And here's the coupon code in order to get the limiting belief assessment test. You are
Mhm.
able, I created it, where you ask yourself a set of questions. The questions are pre written, and you are
Mhm.
able to see if you're battling with limiting beliefs. If you are, you need to make an appointment with myself or Dr. Tyra so we can help you with that. But you go on over there, and this is the coupon code Fearless. Coupon code. Use the coupon code, the word fearless, to receive a discount
There you go.
on the questions, on the questionnaire, on the limit and belief, a self-assessment. So
Mhm.
it's fearless, absolutely. Yes. So go on over there and get that because when we have limited beliefs, we procrastinate. What do
You
you
got
think?
that right. I think it. Look, I think that's a fact.
Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. So, anything else? What is your last word, Dr. Tyra? This was a great show because I love talking about procrastination because I'm a firm believer. Let's do this. What we doing?
Okay, my last word is being able to be intentional about the things that we have to do. You know, sometimes things come in our way and stop us and halt us from doing, but know that this is just a small hurdle. Know that you got this and that you will be able to achieve anything that you want to achieve as long as you put your heart and mind to it. Set a schedule, set your to-do list. Put on that to-do list only 3 attainable goals that you actually can do, because sometimes we put on a list 20 and 30 things and half that stuff don't get done. But the thing is, if you put 3 things on a list, 3 to 5 things on your to-do list, these are attainable goals, and you'll be able to achieve it. So thank you. That's my last word. Dr. Candace, what's your last word?
My last word is you can do this if you do the work. If you do
Hmm.
the work on yourself, And
Mhm.
even if it's 10 to 15 minutes a day, Dr. Tyra is
Mhm.
absolutely right. You need to set attainable goals for yourself. If you do the work
Mhm.
and you get out of your
Mhm.
head, because procrastination comes from overthinking as well. So don't
Mhm.
overthink it. Use the
Mhm.
3 second rule. One, two, three, make a decision and let's get it done.
Mhm.
Make a decision to
Mhm.
get it done. And you learned here today on the mental health minute that you can use the 1, 2, 3, the 3 second rule. So that is my last word. I wish all of y'all good mental health. And this has
Mhm.
been an amazing show. It has.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you.
you all for coming. And we want to thank each and every one of you, everybody who supported us and purchased a badge today. We want to thank you all for your support for purchasing our stickers.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. So thank y'all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so any other words we want to talk about today, Dr. Candace?
No,
Or
I think I am good. I mean, but we can tell them this about our sponsorship. Anybody
yes.
want to sponsor with us, or if y'all know
You
anybody
know
that may
what?
be interested, there you go.
Yeah. Yep, here you go.
Yep, they can just send over a DM. That would be
Yep.
awesome.
Yep. Send us a DM about our sponsorship. And we want to thank each and every one of you for coming out today and spending your afternoon with us. We will see you all next week and have a good weekend and see all of y'all next week.
Okay.